people make mistakes in life. People, go in, negative directions and make mistakes ultimately, but it's what you do after that and what your choices are after, and just getting back in line with what's right and what's good. And everything always works out as hard as it is. I've been through things. Everyone's been through difficult times.
Right.
So it's a story. It's a true life story. People are kidding themselves if they think they're never going to go through a hard time, or if they're never, made a bad decision or made bad choices. And just everyone goes through things, maybe to not that degree, but everyone in life deals with adversity, and everyone is human, and
Right.
everyone makes mistakes. But the fact that you could own it and turn your life around, that's what really matters. And the fact that they've shared that just helps so many people.
All right. Welcome to another Ronald Dills II podcast. Hopefully you've been enjoying this season as we've been catching up with our Downhill family. As we mentioned before, Downhill the Play has taken over the Ronald Dills II podcast. Our show Downhill the Play premiered on stage this past May at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center. It was a huge production, huge performance, huge show out from our wonderful crowds that came out to see that show. Today, we're extremely blessed to have one of our brilliant actresses by the name of Dianne Grant. How you doing, Dianne? Welcome to the podcast. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Oh, it is. We're just getting started. Now, Dianne had the wonderful opportunity. She blessed us. Like, we had the wonderful opportunity, right, to have her play the wonderful role of Sandra Hill. Like, wow, Dianne. Wow. That was a journey, right?
It was.
Such a journey. And wow, what drew you to this story?
Well, just the fact that it was a true story really resonated with me. I love, something that actually happened and working something, actual events, and just a powerful story in general. Overall, just the whole, from the beginning to everything they went through, and the redemption and just the positive outcome from such adversity really drew me to it. It's a full circle, God-driven story.
Yes, that it was such a blessing. And I remember going on a hunt, right? Looking for someone to play this role here in Orlando. Okay. And ended up coming across your profile on social media, and I reached out, like any director that's like, I want that actress. I reached out to you. What was that like for you? You're used to this, right?
Yeah. Well, I get people reaching out. Yeah. But I was very happy and pleasantly surprised to know, Troy and some of the other actors involved. So yeah, it's great to meet you and everyone involved. So
sweet.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sweet. I'm grateful you took this crazy journey with me. Because that was something that was like, she has the perfect look for this role, and I have to at least try to get her on board. And wow, I went through a journey trying to connect with you, and you were so kind to give me a moment to explain what I needed you for this production. So I appreciate that. So playing a role that's based on a true story, how do you prepare yourself as an actress?
So, I was fortunate to have the book as reference. That was great. I read both of the books that Anderson sent over to me. So that just gave the full backstory of him and Sandra, and everyone involved in their life. So it was really good. It was just a playbook, really, to get an idea of who they were and what made them tick and what they went through, and what drove them. In the story. So I was fortunate to have all that information at my fingertips. So I was grateful for that.
Yes, and sometimes I know, being the writer of this story, that the book can really play devil's advocate, right? Because you're like, I want to be perfect,
Right.
just like that book.
Yes, indeed. And just trying to make sure, you're true to them, and
Right.
that conveys, and, wanting to make them happy and make sure that you portrayed them accurately.
Right,
So
right.
there was pressure with that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I know, right up front, something that we wanted to do was to connect you with Mrs. Sandra Hill, so you can actually have that chance to meet her in person. And you received that chance, I want to say, at one of our film showings, right, for Rock Hill. Was that the first time you got to connect with her?
Yes, at the screening. So I was
Sweet.
fortunate and grateful for that. She's just a wonderful individual, and just super nice and sweet, and both of them. Just a great couple. So I was glad that I got to meet her in person and connect with her. That was very helpful.
Yes. It was just such a blessing to see you two together. And I'm like, yep, that was perfect. That's perfect. Right. Now, I'll be honest with you, Dianne, I've been hearing so much great feedback from you playing this role. A lot of people that knew Mrs. Hill say that's you, saying that's Sandra all the way, and just your mannerism and everything about you. So even she said it, that she's been hearing a lot of feedback on her end. So major kudos to you for bringing out this character the way you did and portrayed it on stage, because we've received a lot of great feedback. I just want to let you know. I don't know if you've heard about it yet, but I'm here to let you know we have received so much feedback about you playing that role, and how you brought it, and how everything you do, the way you carry yourself, the way you delivered your lines, all remind them of Mrs. Hill. So I was like, all right, job well done. So great job. So all I could do is just smile from ear to ear for that. So I'm grateful for that. Having like the film experience like you have as well, and preparing for a live stage play, is there any different techniques or different ways you have to prepare yourself besides being in film, when you're preparing for the stage?
Most definitely. As you know, you just get one shot, and there's no take two. There's no, it's sequence, obviously, from start to finish. And just a bigger, frame and platform medium. So it's your whole physicality. It's not just, frame and whatnot. And just a lot of full body and, blocking and where you're positioning on stage. There's a lot more physicality to it, versus the tighter shots in film. So it is different, and it takes more preparation, more rehearsals, and, working the whole stage. So, but, obviously the same character building and choices, behaviors, and actions, intentions, and things like that. I have a process that I prepare for roles in, but that, still that happens. But it's definitely, and you don't know, it's funny because every night the crowd was completely different. So you get that in theater.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. Some things that are, the laugh is one night and then crickets next night, and just vice versa with different parts of the play. So that was interesting. The crowd, it evolves, and it's a different play every night based on the crowd and their perception of it.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy how that happens. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So you're up on that stage. We just wrapped up a performance. We wrapped up the show. I'm gonna go to that moment. We just wrapped up our run of the show. Mm-hmm. What's going through your mind in that moment as an actress?
At the very end?
The very end, the curtain call.
The curtain call. It was just really, pretty emotional, because it was so well received. And like you said, I did get a lot of compliments, which was just great to hear from Sandra and her family and all of her relatives saying that that was her. So that felt really good, and I was very grateful for that. And that was a huge compliment, all the way around. So just feeling like I did my job.
Yes.
So that felt really good. And just all of our camaraderie, just a great group of actors, and everyone behind the camera, in the front and back of the house, production-wise. Everyone was just worked really hard, and I think it all paid off.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I can agree to that for sure. So when you're preparing for a role, of course, preparing for this role, Sandra Hill, what was your process like, you would say, preparing for the rehearsals, preparing for the actual live shows? What process did you take preparing for this role?
So before I received the books, I just I did a little research online and read articles and just did my own research on the Hills. And then, looking at the script, I pretty much fill in the blanks I create my own story. Like, what was their childhood like? What were they like in high school and all the way through? And, fill in the blanks. And then I was able to read the book and it filled it all up. So I have that and just the relationships between all the characters and what that looks like. And it just helps you build more of the whole person.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Yeah, it's totally different when you're playing someone that's real.
Yeah.
And as Brother CJ was saying, and they're still alive, they're still here with you in that process. So yeah, it's a little different, but it's also great because you can receive feedback from them. Just by a phone call, or we used to do a lot of Zoom sessions. And so you can get that feedback right away. So that's always great. The fact that you can portray that story to the best of its ability in the way they would like it. So, yeah, so I love that. What was it like working with me, Ronald Dills II, as a director?
Well, it was the process, right? So we were doing all the Zooms like you just mentioned.
Yes.
And we did a lot of Zooms. Which, it's not the same
Nope.
as being in person, as you know. So that was, I just couldn't wait to get in front of everybody. So once we started having the live in-person rehearsals, I felt like everything just started really to come together.
Yes.
And just get, just to be able to interact in person, it makes a huge difference. So I think it helped a lot though to get things started.
Yes.
And we were in different parts of the country. I mean, CJ was in Houston.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, and some of the actors were further away. So yeah, it served its purpose, but I was glad to get in front of getting live and really dig in, which we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can say this, I'm not really a Zoom director. It was you do it because you have to, but yeah, I would prefer those in-person rehearsals any day over that. But yeah, so I was pretty much like you, how you're feeling. It was kind of like, okay, how is this going to roll? How is this going to run? And then when we got in person, it was like, okay, I feel we got something special now and I'm ready to move. So it really helped out that process even more, getting you all together. And what better way to build that chemistry amongst each other when you're able to be in those in-person rehearsals. And so, yes, I was super excited about that. What was it like working with Mr. CJ Joseph as the role of Anderson Hill?
He was great. Once we did meet in person, I wish we all could have had, I would have liked longer rehearsals.
Oh, okay.
Like,
you hearing it, y'all.
Yes.
You hearing it now.
Yeah, the 2 hour now, I would have gone like 5 hours, just keep going, worked all the scenes longer.
Wow.
That's kind of how I like to just dig in. But we had everyone's schedule and time constraints, so we had to work around that. But that's everyone was great. I felt like we were just getting going. We got to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone was really professional and just, we had some really good talent, great seasoned actors. And like I said, I knew, worked with Troy before, Amanda I've worked with before, and Luis. So it was nice to get on, on the same project again with them. So yeah, just a great, talented group. So it's always fun to work with people that, we all are bringing something to the table.
Yes. I love that. And we were like a family, you know what I'm saying? That's how I try to portray every production. I treat, my cast and crew like family, because we have to spend so much time together. And you all was just so open to everything that I tried to bring, to the table. And so, it worked out really well. I was just like, what's going down is one of my favorite casts. That's for sure. You kind of talked about a little bit about the cast. Were there any hiccups or any things that wasn't up to par for you? Would you say when it came to any of the rehearsals, anything that you thought could be better, or what was that process like?
Like I said, I just wish we had longer time blocks.
Yeah.
Just to get through the whole script, more the repetitions, while we were meeting. That's probably my biggest thing, just to be able to dig in for longer.
Right.
But I mean, everyone was great. Everyone was really just open-minded and just, again, what everyone brought to the table, just great energy and super professional. And some of us, like me, like I'm more of a film television. So it was interesting to see us all kind of have to get bigger and louder and, the different mediums. So it was fun to watch the whole process.
Right.
With everyone, like myself, I was, experiencing the same thing. And so, yeah, I'd say just, it would have been nice if we could have had, which, it just is what it is, but it would have been great to be on Dr. Phillips longer to rehearse there. But we were grateful to have other venues to do so. So
yes, that's another thing there too. So I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah.
So tell us about your favorite scene in the play.
I'd say my favorite. My favorite scenes or the favorite scene in general?
Your favorite scene. What was your favorite scene?
Oh, that I was in?
Yeah. Well, you can. That's the first time someone asked that question, so we may have to hear what's your favorite scene. But tell us about your favorite scene that you were in.
I'd probably have to say the slap.
Wow, the slap. Whoa, well, you heard it here, brother CJ. The slap was her favorite scene. Oh, man.
It was just because it shocked everybody.
Yes, it always
It was unexpected.
It always
for the, and for the audience and, everyone involved.
Yes.
So I think that was Sandra, her character, was just kind of standing up for herself too. And just kind of, I feel like she stood up for herself in that part. And, but it was unexpected because she's such a sweet, docile type of person. And that's her, her energy. So, I just think, but it was necessary too.
Right. So powerful.
Powerful. Yeah. So I think just from a character standpoint too, it was a shift in the whole play. A big beat change too. Everything really changed after that. So, there are a lot of elements to that scene that I think really were powerful and really moved the story along.
Now, how do you as an actress now prepare for a scene where you're actually hitting someone or you're slapping someone or any type of action elements? How do you prepare for something like that as an actress?
Right. So, I mean, CJ is very method because we usually just mime that. You kind of clip the person, they turn their head. You're not really connecting all the time. And you choreograph it. But CJ really wanted to be slapped and like,
yeah. I'm the same way with that.
Yeah. So, and then I'm in zone too. So then like a couple of times he really got, felt it, but so I felt bad about that. But but you're really in character. So that's what happens when you're actually connecting like a live slap like that. But I think it worked, and he's like, I'm fine. But usually it's just choreographed, and when you have action sequence like that.
Yeah. I'm the same when it comes to that. Like, and I would, of course, I want my actors to be safe at all times. But it just looks so much better, and it helps the scene if it can be real,
Right.
When it comes to something like a slap, of course, naturally something else, it's a whole different perspective. But having that reaction, and I was so glad that CJ was open to that because it does bring out that character, and it really drives that character forward. And of course, both of you, in that element, it was a moment that drive you both forward. Now, I did talk to brother CJ about this. How was it preparing for these intimate scenes? Because you both had a few intimate scenes together. From the actress standpoint, how was that process like for you?
Well, I mean, it's similar. It's you're still choreographing. It's all rehearsed. You know what you're gonna do, so it's not like you're just winging it. It's also choreographed. So, you're playing a role. Like you get into the character, and it like again, it's just it's just professional. So yeah,
that's good. You both were so open, and even with the idea of having those private rehearsals if we needed to.
Right.
But you both were just so natural and professional about that. So couldn't ask for anything better in that case. So thank y'all. Thank you both. Let's see. So what else is on my list? So what do you hope the audience took away from this show?
I just hope they can see that sometimes with, difficult times, that I think everything happens, there's a reason and there's outcome and there's positivity that can come from it. Mm-hmm. I think that's really what the whole, underlying current of the story is about. Just people make mistakes in life. People, go in, negative directions and make mistakes ultimately, but it's what you do after that and what your choices are after, and just getting back in line with what's right and what's good. And I think everything always works out as hard as it is. I've been through things. Everyone's been through difficult times.
Right.
So it's the story. It's a true life story. People are kidding themselves if they think they're never going to go through a hard time, mm-hmm. or if they're never, made a bad decision or made bad choices. And just everyone goes through things, maybe to not that degree, but everyone in life deals with adversity, and everyone is human, and right. Everyone makes mistakes. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you could own it and turn your life around, that's what really matters. And the fact that they've shared that just helps so many people.
Nice. I love that. And a lot of those elements that we go through, we can put into these works of art, whether it's playing a character, writing a film or a play. You're able to pull from those elements. So that makes it even more special when you can pull from your past situations to bring those projects to life even more, with a lot of uniqueness from your own perspective. Now, with that in mind too, what do you hope they took from you playing the role of Sandra Hill, that character? What do you hope they took from that, seeing you on stage in that role?
Like her as the character?
Yeah.
Or her as a person?
Her as a person, character, the experience, the way you portrayed her. What are you hoping they left with?
I think it's just a beautiful story of forgiveness, mm-hmm. and like a really true love story, really. Yeah. Because that they really, really, it just exudes out of them. They really love each other. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes people don't understand. Like I remember a couple of times during the play at the end when, I tell him I'm going to be waiting for him. They're like, oh, no, girl. It's like, but people don't understand, people have bonds and strong love, and people make mistakes, and right. Sometimes it's not all about, you got to move past it. Mm-hmm. And I think that really, there's strength in that, just accepting people and accepting them for their mistakes and all of it. It's not always all just good. Mm-hmm. There's the good and the bad, and you just hope that people see that they're it's really a strong love story.
Yes. Agreed on that. Mm-hmm. What are you hoping to see next for Downhill?
I hope that the feature film gets started. I would love to see a full-length feature on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and get into more of the story.
Yes.
It was long, but we were still very limited. There's so much to the story.
Right. And we're talking even series too. So the film and the series, just so we can cover more of that story.
Right.
So the sky's the limit. Well, I thank you so much, my great sister, Dianne Grant, for blessing us with this wonderful session. How can people find out more about you and what you're doing?
You can follow me on Instagram, Dianne.grant.reality, and I am BD Pro. So I'm working on, I have a pilot in pre-production, I have a short film in pre-production, and a feature production. Wow. So I have a lot on my plate, a lot down the pipe. So I'm
staying busy. Yes. That's awesome. And I'm hoping to work with you again soon too. Okay. Don't knock that. Okay.
I hope that happens. Yes. Thank you. And I appreciate you and CJ and everyone involved. And it was really great working with everybody, and I'm super grateful. Great experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in to another session. Stay tuned for more great episodes as we continue this journey to Downhill. All right. Take care, everyone, and be blessed.